बरकत वतन की हमसे है, हिम्मत वतन की हमसे है, इज्जत वतन की हमसे है, इंसान के हम रखवाले, हा 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 हा. Hello, Namaskar, Adab, Sat Sri Akal, Kasakai, Kedohalai, Kem Cho. Welcome to Spotlight with Abha, and I'm your host, Abha Jadhav. Friends, you must have guessed it right that today we have our guest from defense background, that too from Indian Army. He is currently working as CEO at the Career Navigators. So please help me welcome Brigadier Vinod Dutta, straight from the city of Taj Mahal, Agra, Uttar Pradesh. Welcome, sir, to the Spotlight with Abha.
Thank you, and Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
So, friends, we'll definitely listen to Brigadier Vinod Dutta's amazing journey. But before that, let me give his brief introduction. Brigadier Vinod Dutta has served Indian Army at Senior Command Training and Operational Logistics. He has served in insurgency areas in Kashmir and North-East. He has been in action in Kargil War. He is graduate from Defense Services Staff College, Wellington, and Higher Command course from Army War College, Mhow. He has been logistic advisor to Royal Government of Bhutan, teaching faculty at College of Materials Management, Jabalpur, and Rani Durgawati University, Jabalpur. He has degree in law, MBA, personal management and industrial relations, M.Phil in management, advanced management course, IIM Indore, supply chain management and logistics from MDI Gurgaon, project management from MDI Gurgaon again, and PhD in Jiwaji University. He is visiting faculty at IIT Amity University, Army War College, Defense Services Staff College, Wellington Mewar University, IP University, IIRD Shimla. He has 15 years of experience in training and facilitation in executive coaching, leadership-centric programs, communication skills, interviewing skills, and team development and building. He was senior banking advisor in PNB. The officer is avid reader and loves to play golf. He also has singular honor to be in Limca Book of Records, to be from family who has sent maximum numbers of officers to the Indian Armed Forces. This is really, really amazing, but this is just a teaser. Let us hear from the hero the whole story. So, sir, to begin with, your family holds its name in Limca Book of Records for sending maximum people to Indian defense. Can you please share some more about this interesting record?
Thank you, Abha. Let me first thank you for hosting me on such a prestigious program, which is so very popular. I come from a family which is totally a defense-centric family. And we have the singular honor of Limca Book of Records, because at one point of time, we were 17 army officers from one family, where all male members were army officers, and the girls were either army officers themselves or they were married to army officers. So wow, that is a unique feat which we have. And you see, it is a great pleasure and pride for us that we have served nations, over generations. And let me tell you, there is nothing more satisfying than to serve this nation, though everybody contributes in nation building. Everybody has got its own role to play. But yes, the charm, the adventure, and the thrill which you get to safeguard the borders and to safeguard your citizens back home is a unique experience.
Absolutely. Even I've got thrilled by hearing this amazing record, and this is, I think, nothing can be more proudest than this, to serve your nation since generations. So that is really a great, great, great achievement. So, sir, you have been a man of action in Kargil War. Share the experience, please.
Well, that was a very unique experience, Abha. And I recall, in one of the hot mornings in May, I had just come back from PT and I was having a cup of tea. And when my Sahak came and told me, Sahab, General Saab ka telephone hai. So I immediately rushed. I thought some senior officer is calling. So I attended the telephone and I could recognize the voice that it was my father, who was a general that time in the army. So I asked him, I said, good morning. So he says, yeah, good news for you. I said, what is that? He says, you have been posted to Kargil. I said, that's very nice. And he says, you'll have to leave immediately. So I told him when. He says, day after tomorrow, you have to report to Delhi and then you'll be flown to Kashmir. So I told him, can I get a day extra so that I can look up my grandmother who was staying in Agra, and I was posted in Mathura. It was not very far. He says, no extension will be given to you. You have to report immediately. And let me assure you that I will look after my mother. You look after the motherland. And I had to, pack up. And so it's a matter of pride for me that, I got marching orders from my father. And you see, every soldier waits for this occasion because you have been trained. You have been, been sweating all your life to just see action. And, people, those who see action in their lifetime, they're really very, very lucky. And I got that opportunity that I could participate in this war.
Wow, this is so thrilling. Actually, I think those who love their country, they always have a dream to serve their country in such situations. And you absolutely got that opportunity, and that too orders from your father. Great. So soldiers are trained tough to face such tough situations. But does at any moment during your whole journey in army, you felt a breath of fear, or say for a while you felt like giving up?
Well, Abha, since I come from an army background family, so soldiering is a second nature in our family. So, you were born with a soldierly ethos. You were brought up with a, environment which was full of nationalism, which was full of josh, which was full of, how to defend the country. So there was no question that one was not motivated. And there was no question of, at any point of time, giving an impression that you have given up or this thing. Because, you see, army works on three things: Naam, Namak, Nishan. You see, your own name, your own family's name. Namak, integrity. And Nishan, you see, under the flag or under the insignia in which you are fighting, whether it is your country, whether it is your regiment, whether it is your Paltan. So you live, you fight, and you sacrifice yourself for these three things. So at no point of time, right from when I was a kid, I always wanted to, join army. And I still remember when my father used to come from field area, I was a small kid. I will get into his uniform, and those uniforms won't fit me, but still I will, use them as a poncho or a, gown kind of thing and roam around. And then my mother will, scold me, don't spoil the uniform. And then one day my father saw, then he, gave me, he got a small size uniform made for me. So that was the passion which I had for joining the army.
Wow. So how did you turn from army to training and mentoring then?
Well, the reasons were purely domestic. You see, I lost my mother. She was fighting cancer. And when I lost her, my father was alone. And he also required somebody's attention. So that was the time I had to say goodbye to the army, and I thought that I must look after him, or I should be in a close vicinity where I can attend to his medical needs and at least give him company. So that's the time I hang my boots, and since you see, I always had an interest in academics. I always had that quest for learning, and I can proudly call myself as a scholarly warrior. That you see, I kept, because when I joined army as an officer, I was 20 years 6 months old, so I was a young lad, and thereafter I achieved all these degrees. So I had that quest for learning and giving it back to the society. So immediately when I decided to leave, I was picked up by the corporate. So I switched over to corporate. And then I worked there for a couple of years. And then I decided that I must give it back to the society. I must teach, and I must, because teaching gives me intellectual feed. And I still remember my first assignment was in IIT Kanpur. So when the director invited me that, can you come and address our students? I said, fine. When I went there, the director, when I was having a cup of tea with director IIT Kanpur, so he told me, he says, Brigadier Saab, I have given you a lecture after lunch. And the challenge is that the boys or the girls, they should not sleep. So I told him, sir, you have given me a very, very difficult task, because in IITs, people don't sleep in the night, they sleep in the classes, because throughout the night they are studying. So I told him, I am a soldier, the challenge is accepted. And he says, I will be attending the class. I said, sir, you're most welcome. And he thought that a soldier, what kind of class will he take? So I said, fine. And believe you me, the class literally enjoyed. And it was slated for 1.5 hours. It continued for 2.5 hours. For a second, people slept. And the director complimented me. And thereafter, I've been going quite regularly to, such premier institutions, including the IAS Academy, and giving my talks. So what I feel is that when everything comes from within, when you speak from heart, then people have that kind of connect and people love it.
Absolutely. I truly agree. When a teacher teaches from heart, you connect to heart of students. So there's no doubt about it. Yes. So now, at this stage, what is your source of motivation and inspiration now?
Well, I feel that this is the time to give it back to society. You see, I am in the second innings. I have played my innings and I played it well. So now, whatever, like they say, when you have silver on your head, you have a lot of experience in your heart. So it is now time to give it back to the society, to the posterity. कहते हैं ना कि ये वतन अब तुम्हारे हवाले साथियों. So it is high time that we motivate the youth. The biggest asset for India is that we are a young nation. Yes. You see, our average age is 29 years. And out of 350 million students, 52% students belong to India. And they say the next century belongs to Asia. And we have to write our destiny. And that's why I call the youngsters or the millennials as the destiny designers. Mustaqbil Hindustan, or Bhagya Vidata, जिसे हिंदी में कहते हैं. Because they have to write the history. They have to write the destiny of this country. And if the century has to belong to Asia, though China is flexing muscles, but China also knows that China cannot have a free run unless it takes India on board.
Absolutely. I truly agree. India is great with its youth and its power, and the coming generation who are going to take our nation to the heights of success globally. So I absolutely agree with you that yes, India is going to be number one soon. Now, as a man from defense, what future do you see for our beloved nation in upcoming years?
Well, as I told you, that we have already conveyed to the world, here comes India. We already had a very large footprint, somehow because of various invaders and various other rulers who came from various corners of the country. India was ruled by them. But now the time has come. We are already a regional power. The day is not very far when we are going to be writing the history on the wall of the universe. And the writing is quite clear. We are heading towards that. There are a lot of pluses which our country has. And the biggest advantage is our youth, the millennial, which is there. The kind of nature which we have. Indians are formatted. Their DNA is hard work. I'm telling you, you take any Indian, the kind of history which we have created. If you see the, Fortune 500, India represents so, very fairly. People look up to you. What is required is that we have to be focused. We have to rise above the petty politics or the, party-based politics. We have to show to the entire world the kind of force projections we can do, whether it is in hard power or soft power. So India has already conveyed to the world that yes, the next century belongs to us. And we will convert these words into action. As it is, we are heading for a 5 trillion economy. We are a regional power. People listen to us. People, they rely on us. Because the kind of policies we have. You see, we are the only nation. After the, when we offer prayers, हमारे यहाँ हर प्रेयर के बाद कहते हैं कि विश्व का कल्याण हो.
Absolutely.
That means we want the entire world to flourish. Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam. The entire world is one family. So that is the kind of vision India has taken, and we are moving in the right direction, and nothing is stopping us.
I truly agree with you, sir. And this is really an amazing vision for our beloved country. And yes, with the efforts of our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi, I think he has been successful in driving not only the current generation, but the upcoming youth of our country. And they are also taking up our Prime Minister as role model. So this is really a great initiative. And वो दिन दूर नहीं जब विश्व पे हमारा भारत का तिरंगा पूरी दुनिया पे लहराएगा और पूरी दुनिया भारतमयी बन जाएगी. So yes, best wishes to all of us, all Indians right there. So I'm sure most of my audience by this time have got charged with your words of wisdom and motivation. So thank you so much for giving your valuable time to Spotlight with Abha, and gratitude for sharing wonderful insight. Just before winding up, I want to have one last powerful message for all the Indians right there.
I just want to tell people and remind them that भारत पहले भी विश्व गुरु था, भारत फिर विश्व गुरु बनेगा, और जो हमारा परचम है, जो तिरंगा है, जैसा आपने कहा, वो विश्व में लहराएगा. And I just want to tell people that bash on regardless, the world will follow you. And I want to thank you for such a wonderful talk and the brilliant questions which you had put. And at the last, I want to say, Jai Hind, Jai Bharat, Akhand Bharat.
Wow. So friends, if you wish to see other episodes of Spotlight with Abha, do click to playlist coming up on the screen. Do subscribe to my YouTube channel for upcoming episodes of Spotlight with Abha. And yes, don't forget to press the bell icon right there with subscription button so that you can get an immediate notification of my latest video. So, I am Abha Jadhav along with Brigadier Vinod Dutta signing off now. Do take very good care of yourself and your family members. Bye-bye, Namaskar, and Jai Hind.